compared to them. You look like you're John.
How's it going, shipheads? Okay, shiphead, how's it going? Welcome to the Saturday night live stream. I got the little Ferenghi Marauder, which I've modified into what I'm calling the Acquisition class. We're going to call that the Acquisition class. So I got a little bit of painting done on it last night. Let's fire it up. There's our engine. So I got to paint all these little grills right here. I got to paint these grills here. And I got to paint some details on that piece, which is from the Acquisiton model. And I'm going to paint that orange part inside there, a different color. Probably go with some gunmetal black or something like that, like a copper. Then we'll add some details to the top here. So let's get at it. See who's here. Nobody's in the chat, so I'm going to just go ahead and start painting. Get these wires off. We don't need that on right now. And I'm going to get the rest of the masking off this side. Oh, we got JZ5S6M saying hi. How's it going? Thanks for joining me tonight. Welcome to Trek Mods. How you doing? We got Joy Jan Louie. How's it going? Nice to see you. And we got QT Monica. How you guys doing tonight? I imagine you guys are over here visiting me from where the butterflies are blue. So welcome to Trek Mods. It's my own little ship show where I modify Star Trek models. And I got the Ferenghi Marauder here, which I've changed into something else. And we got, he says good. Or they say good. All right, excellent. And it's showing me that you guys are watching on a vertical stream. That's a new thing they started, and I think I'm going to start doing it more often. Because I seem to have some new visitors joining me, which is nice. Usually myself and the other members of HTM, Hobby Time Modelers, we usually go with the landscape setup. But when I was setting up my stream in StreamYards, I neglected to notice and change it. And I said, you know what? Whatever, I can stream in two formats. Doesn't bother me any. There's Russ from Cosmic Quest Hobbies. How you doing, Russ? Good to see you. If anybody wishes to watch the stream in landscape mode, you can go to my channel where it shows my live stream, and I think you can choose which one you want. if you want to watch vertically or horizontally. So Russ from Cosmic Quest Hobbies, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I saw your update pictures on your newest project that you're working on. Looking pretty good. Russ is another fellow YouTuber who scratch builds excellent models and his own universe with a whole storyline and a narrative and everything, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I recommend checking it out. Looks like this piece just popped right off of there. I'm going to use the Russ says, good to see you too. Oh, thank you, buddy. I'm just going to use a drop of the to me extra thin there. Stick that back down. And peel that mask. There we go. That's not bad. So, for anybody that's new here, Jeff's here, Captain Charlemagne. How you doing, Jeff? Joy Janny Louie says you are the best person. Well, I thank you very much. I appreciate that. You are also the best person. You, right there. Jeff, Captain Charlemagne's here, says hi. How's it going? Hey, Jeff, how's it going? I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Returned. So I'll show you this little model here, just to give you guys a bit of idea of what my thing is here over at Trek Mods. I'm modding Star Trek stuff. So this was Cardassian Keldon class ship, and I used nothing but the kit for that model. And I modeled it into a Federation ship. So let's put this in, turn it on, and we'll have a look. So this guy's done. Pretty much finished. There's the deflector. Looks like some kind of weird whale. It's pretty cool. Joy Janny says, I'm a YouTuber. You're a YouTuber too? Excellent. Let me check out your channel later. If you're building models and stuff like that, I'd love to check it out. I'm always looking for new model builders to watch that I can learn from and enjoy. Here's my little Cardassian ship. I don't have a name for it, but it's fun. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing something similar with that. There, honey. My wife, she's going off to a basketball game. Her cousin's son is playing in a basketball game against our town tonight. He plays for the University of Ottawa team, and they're playing here tonight. So they're going to go watch. We got Ibrahim Mohammed. How's it going, Ibrahim? Nice to see you here. Says, wow, I like it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to Track Mod. So let's get to painting here. So we got these grills. Now, I got all kinds of paints, and I got some little brushes. But maybe I don't feel like getting the airbrush out and masking all of this. So I airbrushed all this last night on a group live stream. I masked off for my panels here. I want to paint some highlights in those panels. And I want to paint some highlights on all these details here on the top. So I got to decide on some colors. I got these, I got some of these AK markers here. I got bronze and copper. I got gunmetal black. I've got a couple other ones. I got the silver, chrome silver, and I got the gold. So I've got a few choices here. And I got some other metallic paint markers that I can choose from. I like using these for doing small details because they have really fine tips on them, and they have really cool metallic colors that are very opaque, and they coat really nicely on the first pass. I've got a couple different choices and tips here. I got all these colors, and they were like really cheap, super cheap. So I got those. I'll start with the biggest stuff here. I'm gonna do these grills, and I'm gonna try the copper first, I think. So Jeff says, doing all right, Jody. That's me, cheap engineer, Jody LaForgery. He says, doing all right, looking at my Neo Connie and thinking of painting it in a more TMP era look. Funny if I can get the refit nacelles to work, aside from a few things, look more like the Shangri-La class. Yeah, it'd give that motion picture era paint job. And if you want it to look more like the Shangri-La, you could even cut those fill-ins at the rear part of the saucer, because the Shangri-La had like pizza slices cut out of the back corners of it. You could even remove those additions that they added for the new Enterprise there. It says also thought on 2 names for it. I'm going with the USS Trump after Admiral Trump from the Anglo-Dutch War, and USS Triumph. Okay, whatever. Right on. All right, so let's get the copper paint going here. I'm gonna need my glasses. It's very small. I can't see a dang thing. So I just thought I gotta put some color in there. There's Howard, DeForest Hobbies. He says you need your Google eyes. Yeah, I got my Google eyes right here. I need my Google eyes to see this. So I'm looking at the inside here with the white centers. That looks good when it's turned on, but when it's turned off, that's not gonna look so hot. So let's try the panel liner. I'm just going to do one little panel here. And I want to see how much it fills it up. So that turns dark, but now I want to see if the light actually comes through when I turn it on. Howard says, I'm not seeing other people chatting. No. People are watching. Turn the power on. So it doesn't really get much light out of there at all. I was hoping a little more light would come through. Let's see, get a little brush right here. Let's see if I can just take some of it out. There, so now we got a nice light coming through. It's bright enough, and when it's off, it's going to look black. So I'm just going to fill all those. Howard says those AK markers working good versus the copper one. I don't know. I'm gonna use the copper one on this in a little bit. I haven't used them all that much. Russ says, just smash the like button. Oh, thanks, Russ. Hope you busted it. Break that like button. So now I'm just gonna brush this. Funny how that one stayed dark. Turning on the light have something to do with it? This isn't working for me. Lumpy McLumpster. John Boy's here. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Howard says, yeah, it's weird. I go back to landscape mode. I'm the only one chatting in this mode. Yeah, not too many people are chatting, man. That's all right. Lets me focus on what I'm doing. Trying to figure out how to darken those panels in there, but still allow the light to come through. So that wasn't working too great. I think what happened was the panel liner just soaked in under that and went into the model. That's what happened. Russ says, sorry I chat, but I'm plugging away on my build. That's okay, Russ. You don't need to chat. Just saying hi and let me know you're here is awesome enough for me. Okay, so we've got like a bunch of schmoo here. It's all covered in paint and goo. So it's like a bit uneven right there. Howard says he stopped at Mickey D's and got a Big Mac. Apparently, they're training a new guy. Because he put both patties on top of the middle bun. Wrong way, Wilson. I don't know how you could make that mistake. It goes bun, patty, bun, patty. It's pretty easy. It should be barely an inconvenience. Okay, that's pretty uneven right there, so I wonder if I can get this filed down a bit to the there's no filing on the edge. It's smooth. That's kind of a bummer. I need that edge. But it's kind of good though because it's not filing this edge. So you win some, you lose some. It's okay. Going slow, but I'm getting down there, evening out the step there. It's because of the way that I made this little grill piece. So it's got like a separate frame around it, and then it's fitted into this back part here that I cut out. Yeah. Actually, I didn't cut out. It's sitting on top of this flat part. And then I built all this. And then this would have been the bottom of the Ferenghi ship, but it's now the top. Yeah, something like that. Howard says, well, he bun, patty, cheese, patty, bun. Almost like what happened here. I guess they didn't know. I deconstruct mine, though, the layers since I was kind of a kid. It's a quirk. See what I did there? He bun, patty, cheese, patty, bun. I don't know. What you did there? Quirk. Oh, it's a quirk. It's a funny quirk of mine. I get it. Missed that. I thought your keyboard just auto-corrected it or changed it on you. I thought you were trying to say a quirk. Okay, this one's not good for filing into a corner because the corner of it is smooth. I need a different one. Get this nice sharp guy right here. Go. That's better. I want to file both edges at sort of the same time. And this has a real sharp edge. I can cut into it. Just sort of smooth this out. I built it pretty nice and smooth, but when I glued it in place here and built the other stuff around it, it kind of deformed it a little bit. So I'm trying to cut in and leave like a little bit of a lip there. And that kind of planes off toward the end. So I gotta cut into here. There's that edge. Like a blade. So I'm starting to get my little lip there. Let's see. Jeff says, so what are you naming the little ship? And if you don't mind me asking, what are you planning to work on after this? I don't have a name for this. I don't know what I'm naming it. I'm calling it the Acquisition class of a ship, but the ship itself doesn't really have a name. And after this, I don't know what I'm going to work on next. I have lots of little 2500 scale ships, but I also want to take more time to focus on my channel and making video content of my build of the larger scale of the USS Inserter that I started building, and I haven't got that far on yet because I've been slacking and focusing all my attention and energy on these little builds for the live streams. So I get to a larger version of this, which I've already started with the Excelsior kit. And I don't know what my next big project's going to be after that. Probably the Enterprise C. I want to see if I can make that into the concept art of the Enterprise C, then the Rendra class with the elongated nacelles and the crystal for the impulse engine and the impulse engine on the saucer and all that jazz. Squish the body down, make it sort of that oval shape. I know of ways to do it, so I'm going to try. I got 2 kits, so I know how to elongate the nacelles. That was my main issue on trying to figure out how to do that, aside from scratch building an extension on the nacelle. So now I don't have to do that. So I have another version of the kit, and I can just cut a center part out of one nacelle and transplant it to the center of the other one, extending it. All right, now I want the one with the safety edge again. So I avoid filing into that edge that's been painted. All right, now a lot more of that on this side. I wonder how well the disc bay will do me in this situation. Let's give it a shot. Let's see, we got the narrow one on there already. this guy a try. It's just thin enough. I think there is one. Yeah, there is one thinner one. That doesn't have the power required to get in there. Get that off. Once I'm done filing, it'll have the perfect amount of power to make it nice and smooth. Let's see. So this side's kind of the more messed up side as far as the shape of it goes. So do my best at trying to get a nice line. Just get in there with the edge. And it sort of tapers off towards the back or the front. Ken is here. Hello, Ken. Ken says, Happy Valentine's Day. Same to you, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day to you. How are you today? I'm just trying to get this little back grill sorted out. I was about to start painting, and as you know how it goes, right when you're going to paint, you find all the things that need to be taken care of before you can actually paint. But I had this part masked off last night when I painted the main body of the ship, because I didn't want the grills to get painted. So now I gotta paint these grills. I guess I'll go with a clear red paint in the grills to paint the white. I tried to put panel liner in there, but that didn't work. I think all the panel liner just went under the gaps and into the model, and it disappeared. Ken says, doing well, thanks. Excellent. Glad to hear. Are you working on any projects this evening, Ken? Mary went out with her cousins to watch her cousin's son play in a basketball game. He plays for the Ottawa University, or I guess University of Ottawa, or whatever. And they're in town playing the Laurentian University team tonight. Ken says nothing this evening. Just relaxing, taking it easy. My kid is going out to a birthday party with their friends, so I'll have to go for a drive during Canadian Starships and go pick up my kid from the party. But I will be in the chat on Canadian Starships later on tonight. Watch Andrew's progress of the 650 scale Enterprise D, which is always fun to watch and interesting. Having a bit of a hard time here getting a nice clean line. These files, they have a real nice sharp edge until you get to the tip of it, and then the tip of it is thick and flat. It doesn't do what I need it to do. Let's take a look in the tickle trunk. That tickles. There. Nice, sharp, triangular. There's Stephen Haynes. How are you, Stephen? Says hi. Good evening, my friend. Nice to see you here. I'm doing okay. How are you doing tonight? That's giving me a nice sharp cut. That's good. I like the way that sort of happened, unintentional, but I like the way that sort of filed in as like a bevel. I wonder if I can try to replicate that all the way around. Probably not, if that's what I wanted to do. I could try the rotary tool here and try carving it out, but I'm worried that it's just going to get out of control. And I'm going to carve into the edge of the lip here or something like that. But I can use my blade because I'm very proficient with it. Just sort of sideways scrape it. So I've got glue up into the corner here. Just gonna pick it out. Andrew's here. Hey, Andrew. Says, hey, Jody, see you're keeping the Ferenghi coloring. Yeah, I did my best. I mixed up a few colors there. I got as close as I thought I could. Close enough for me, anyways. Right? We're not going for perfection here. Just something that's recognizable. Right? Appreciate that. Looks not bad. I went with like a sort of, what was that called? Steel gray. Not sure about that. I might go over it with the gunmetal here. These panels. Plus, I have to fix that a little bit anyways. It got marred, and some of the paint came off. Got to the undercoat. So I'm trying to scrape the excess paint. So I painted these grills ahead of time, and then I decided I need to freshen that up because there was glue that I didn't notice. And just the fitting was a little uneven. So I've been trying to file around the outside of this edge here and get a nice even sort of transition. I've been having a little bit of luck with it. So I was hoping I'd be painting by now. Should have had most of this painted, but I started messing around with this. But whatever, I'd like to do the best job I can on this, even though it's just a small thing I'm doing for fun. It's all about building my skills and perfecting my techniques so that when I do move on to the big models that need to look the way they're supposed to look, I'll know how to do that. Because I'm not going to Trek mod every single model. I got a couple nice ones that were given to me by my friends that deserve to be built properly. And I'm going to do my best to try to do that. Not every model has to be modified. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing. Here's my flat one. Let's see if I can get this. Get rid of that corner. There, that's getting there. I may have to touch up this. Well, actually, this is the little border thing. I wanted to paint that a different color anyways, so it does not matter. Russ says, I can definitely tell your skills have improved since I started watching your builds. Well, thanks. I learn a lot from the guys in HTM from watching them and asking things, asking for help and advice. Watching all the other YouTubers like you and the other guys out there. I've been trying to learn as much as I can. Like when I started doing this a couple of years ago, I built my first model just for fun, just for something to do as a way to express my creativity, and it just kind of ended up being something that I really enjoyed. And then when I started making videos, it just started snowballing from there. You know, I figured I might do a couple models here and there. It's not easy for me to get models where I live, and but now I got more than I can handle, and I got millions of ideas that I want to do to all these crazy ships, because I've been redesigning the Enterprise and other Star Trek things since I was 15. I've been drawing pictures of starships and drawing my own versions and altering the Enterprise and other things like that. So some of this is just trying to put into perspective what I already have in my head. And then sometimes I have no idea what I want to do until I actually grab the model and start manipulating it and looking at it, holding the pieces up to each other in different orientations and seeing what I could rearrange. Like that's how this one was. I had no idea how I was going to mod this one. What I was going to do was try to drill out the windows, because Andrew didn't per se challenge me to do so, but he said, I bet you it would be challenging to drill out all those windows on that. And I said, yeah, it probably would be challenging. So I was going to try, but the model kit itself isn't designed to be able to put windows. Like this front part here has a raised piece like right here. And if you look at the pictures, there's like 4 decks of windows right there. And there's not even enough room here to drill 2 decks of tiny, tiny ones like that. Even tinier than that. You couldn't, there was no way to do it. So I figured I'd try something else, see what else I could do with the Ferenghi ship. And, you know, it's basically a 2-piece model kit, just a clamshell, the top and bottom. And then this extra bit that goes in this this panel here. But this is from the Cardassian one, the little tail fork piece. It just happens to kind of fit into there. That was Ken's suggestion, and it works great. I like it. So I figured we'll just, you know, design it into a different class of a ship, something else that they might build. Maybe a little bit more, I don't know, maybe more cargo oriented instead of aggressive like the Marauder. We still got some guns on there, but look at all the cargo you can acquisition. All right, so it feels like every time I start filing this, I'm making it worse, but I'm not. I'm making some parts of it worse, but I'm making most parts of it better. I'm not going to be able to get it to look nice and smooth like that part. But if I can get it cleaned up nice enough. Oh. I actually filed it so thin right there that I got rid of the I got rid of the panels or the grills. That's not good. That's not good at all. What will I do? Oh, I need to patch that somehow. Alright, so I have to replicate these holes. Almost one too thin right here too. I don't know. I could probably just paint it, get away with it by painting it and blocking it. To make this little piece right here that goes over that grill took me at least 3 hours, maybe longer. It's a white piece of plastic and then a gray piece of plastic with all the holes in it, which I drilled out by hand and then cut with the blade to finalize. So a lot of detailed work went into that. I would hate to lose the feature. See, it's all full of dust here, but as I clean it out, you can see how good it looks. So I think I'm just gonna try to paint it back in there. I'm not gonna rebuild that. That's gonna be too much. Too much. That's too much. But I do want to try to get the dust out of there and the gunk. Some schmoo in it. A little schmeg in there. Blue pointy. Almost feels like putty. How did I get putty in there? Must be paint. Sanded paint. It gets all gummed up. Howard said 3 darts is too much. 3 darts is too much? No, you're supposed to use 3 darts. I like darts. My granny taught me how to play darts. She was super good at it. And I used to play with her all the time at the camp. Just now I go anywhere people are playing darts. And they try to get me to play, and I say, no. And then I play, and they say, oh, no. Russ is asking Howard if he's enjoying the warmer weather. You guys getting a little break there in Michigan this weekend? Us too. It's not bad. It's only -9 Celsius today, which wasn't too bad. -9's practically t-shirt weather around here. Well, for some people anyway. I seen a guy with shorts and a t-shirt going from his truck into the grocery store last week when it was like -20. He didn't care. Guess he's just numb to everything. Russ says it was close to 50 degrees today. Wow. 50 degrees Fahrenheit is around. It's probably about 20 Celsius or 16, 20 Celsius. I'm not exactly sure on the conversions. Give me 1 second. So, if anybody was watching Donnie's stream there last Monday, and if you remember, we were playing a game called What's This Robot? And we ran out of time, and I had some leftover robots that we didn't guess. So I'm going to put this robot. Hey, Steve. He says, yeah, Michigan heat wave, 40 degrees. So we're going to use these leftover robots, and we're going to play What's That Robot? So I'm going to put a picture of a robot on the screen from a movie or TV. And I want you guys in the chat to tell me what the robot is, or at least what movie it's from. And because we got a new set of pictures for Donnie's stream on Monday. We got a whole new set of pictures for Donnie. So I'm going to show you guys this robot that we didn't use. And you guys can tell me, what's that robot? Oh, where did it go? Hold on now. Yeah. Do you guys know what that is? So tell me in the chat what movie that robot's from. And I know you guys all know this. I'm going to get some red paint. I'm going to go with the clear red Tamiya paint because it's thin and really clear. Don't think I need the little paint cups. Where's my brush? Laura says, is that a pod from War of the Worlds? No. Steve's in with an answer. He says, Archimedes, robot owl from Clash of the Titans. Well, yeah. Good one, Steve. Yeah, man. Archimedes, the robot owl from Clash of the Titans. So if you guys tune into Donnie's stream this Monday, study up on your aliens and your monsters. We got two things on Monday. I'm going to have alien pictures and monster pictures from TV and movies. You guys are going to have to tell me which monster or alien it is. And I'm going to see how good this little pointy detail brush is. It might be even too big. Steve says, I am a wiener. Hot dog, man. Hot dog. We have a wiener. Okay, just the slightest little dot on there. I'll be painting over that anyways, but I still want to try not to get red paint all over the grill. So just going to kind of let it fill in there like a little pool until I get to the part that I smoothed out too much, and then I'll have to just paint it red and then try to paint the bars over it. Hopefully it won't be too noticeable. I can live with it. There we go. So I'm just doing that. Just filling them up like little ponds. Howard says, any anime monsters or aliens? Oh, I don't know. Probably not. I don't think I got any anime monsters or aliens in my batch. I just got stuff from movies and TV. Drop on there. I suppose I could have thinned this out a little bit so that it pooled in there. This is good. So I'll just have to paint right over this section. I was trying hard not to sand the flat spot, but there was some spots where it was like sort of bowing out and I wanted to smooth it. I should have just accepted it for what it was and all of its imperfections. Did I just stick my finger in it? No. All right. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. I didn't screw it up. Howard says, don't sneeze like me when I seem to want to do fine detail work. I got all my sneezing out earlier today, man. Holy crap. I don't know what set me off. But I was sneezing for like 5 minutes. Maybe it means warmer weather's coming. We're going to get a nice early springtime. Where's the global warming I was promised 20 years ago? Well, we'll sure get it in the summer. It's so hot here in the summer, man. Like, you can't even breathe. Howard says, I've been cleaning house and stirring up all the dust bunnies. It's getting to me at times. Yeah, that'll do it too. Having a bird doesn't help. He makes dust. Some of this hasn't been touched in 20 years or more. All right, let's see if I can do the same for here. So I'm trying to just let the surface tension hold it in place. A little too much there. Just let it sort of wick into the corners a little bit like John. Steal a bit from there. If you can drip it in there like that and it fills, gives you a nice never boast about success. You see what happens. Oh, that side filled up too. How nice. Maybe I can sort of coax it all down into there. So I'll be able to sort of scuff any extra paint off the raised part there a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. Or just paint right over it because I'll be using something very opaque. As you can see, I ran out of patience and started spreading the paint around. Nice even coat. Even them all out. Don't worry about the overspray after something there. Piece of something. Weird. Some schmutz. A little bit of schmutz right there. Get rid of that there schmutz. Alright. Clean this brush. Whoa, almost threw that. I went to screw the lid on and I missed. I almost threw the bottle at myself. Right on my lap. Right on my lap. I had a bloody red lap. Red bloody lap. Got the Tamiya tenor over here. Let's clean that brush. Brush worked all right. Not bad for a cheap little brush. Got like a pack of like 6 of these for a few bucks. Move this Enterprise out of the way. Okay. Now, just a little dab here because I got a bit of red on it. Red fingerprint, that took care of that. Right. Not bad, not bad. See if I can just kind of tidy that up a little bit. It's just like sort of jagged from where I peeled the masking off. All right, copper. It's not bad. All right, so I painted over those flat spots. That's not bad. I can live with it. Better than I hoped it turned out after I messed it up like that. But that seems to happen with me. I'll mess something up, and it often ends up turning out better than I expected. Mistakes are the driver of innovation, don't you know? Okay, looks a little rough, but you know what? This is not a Federation ship. This is a Ferenghi ship. An Acquisition class ship. So basically, it's their version of a pirate vessel. Let's see if we can get a little paint in there. All right, that's not that awful, I suppose. Whoa. A lot of paint came out of there. I don't wanna waste that much paint. Bit of crustulence on my brush. So sort of dragging it across the surface there. Trying to be as gentle as possible. After all, it is Valentine's Day. Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I'll be able to salvage that. Let's see how much of it I can get off of there. It actually goes on really nicely with the brush. Ken says, roses are red, violets are blue. The Ferengi charged you double because he likes you. Excellent. If he didn't like me, it would have been triple. Come on, Ken. All right, well, that's about all I can salvage out of that. Instead, I didn't waste all of it. Now, this is going to be like all over the place. So I might as well just pump it into here. Because I feel if I put the tip of this down here, it's just going to go all over the place. I won't have enough control over it. Not like I do with this nifty little brush. Hey, Shark's here. How's it going, Ricardo? Says happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, Ricardo. How's it going down there? Yeah, that's good like that. Bit of leakage over there on the one. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Okay. So, right there, this one. Just a little bit of bleed over. But, hey, come on. Can you see it from here? No, it's not bad. All right, now, without touching that, where else can I use that color? Since I got a bunch of it on my brush, I'll get this bit right here. Okay, so I'll just paint these raised bits on this. Alright, so we're saying hi to Ricardo. Okay, I think I can do these like little vent things right here. It's kind of like a grill. Didn't notice before, but it looks like I wrecked it a little bit. This side's nice. Get these little fancy details right here. Tiny particle of plastic or something. The smallest of particulates. Looks good. Andrew says, sometime you're so quiet, I've got to check to see if I didn't miss the stream ending. That's a good reminder of me of what time it is. Thank you for that, Andrew. It is 8:30. Yeah, I just get focused on. I just get focused on what I'm doing here, and I'm better. I'm better at speaking when I'm prompted by someone. I don't have a whole lot to say on my own. I've said all the things over the years. I've said everything I've had to. But yeah, there's not a lot to explain here. I'm just going around with the copper pen, trying to highlight some parts. Everywhere that looks like it could be a grill, right down here, just a little bit of highlight this part. And I'll go in there with the panel liner later, blacken that up. Let's get these little forky things all copper. can't see this because I got it covered up. I'm just doing the other side of that little detail there. Almost looks like it could be deflector related now that I've painted it copper, and just sort of the location that it's in, the leading part of the ship there. Dot this there, try to get more paint. Try to get some in on the top of this little bit right here. A little sleepy there. Ken says, hey to Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Okay, so let's get this little bit right here also painted copper. Gonna need a little more. There we go. Let's see, Andrew says, are you doing a double header tonight? I might do another stream at 11. I'm not making as much progress on this right now as I had hoped. I had to do a bit of finessing and touching up before I actually got to the paint part. So I think I could probably pick it up at 11. I have to go pick up my daughter when I'm done here, and then I'll be back in time to watch most of Canadian Starships. I might miss a little bit of the beginning. And yeah, I should be ready to stream again by 11. Nate 33. All right, there we go. That's not bad. So let's get this one. Hey, hey. There's the lid. I'm going to do this front bit here. This one. Just to sort of differentiate it from the gold on the inside. I mean the copper on the inside. Just trying to get up inside that little ring in there. I like this one a lot. This kind is pretty good. Wondering what other colors these ones come in. Play markers. These give you a nice smooth coat. Oh, I should have filed that little bulb there, that little nub away. Didn't notice it. Not bad. Now let's do these raised sort of trim pieces I added. Just trying to get a little bit over the edge there so that it looks like it has a band of plating on the outside rather than a painted surface. Just get the tip around the corner like that. Right in there. Andrew says, I'm not sure how long my planned work will take tonight. I might go over time by 15 or so if I'm almost done, but not quite. Yeah, don't worry about that, Andrew. Take as much time as you need to do whatever work you're doing, and I intend to watch your show to the end and then just start my stream. It's not like we're locked into a schedule. We're pretty flexible. Let's see if I can get a little onto that detail down there. That's a little tough. Let's see, let's get some red. I want red. Red. Go with this one. Just get, I don't know if you can see that, but it's what would have been the impulse crystals for the 2500 scale Enterprise B. Now they're just going to be red nubs. Red nubs. Red nubs. All right, don't know if we can see that, but we've got some red nubs. That's really hard to see. There we go. Red nubs. All right, let's use some of this red up here. Oh, I should have did all these little. Should have used the copper in those little grills right there. Let's see. Russ says, do you guys use the paid version of StreamYard? I'm still kicking the idea of starting some live streams on my channel. Yeah, the HTM group has a paid subscription to StreamYard, and they allow so many users on there, so everybody kind of splits on the cost. I'm aware that it's very expensive. There's no way that I would be using the paid version of StreamYard by myself. Just simply can't afford it. But if you can, it's probably worth it if you can afford it. I would say it's pretty, like, as a non-user of technology and computers and things like that. Like, I'm new to this video production and live streaming, and I haven't really had much computer experience throughout my life. And StreamYard is pretty easy to figure out and pretty easy to use. And whatever I can't figure out, there's lots of people in the group that help me with it for sure. Why is my StreamYard screen so small? Ever weird. Right from when I put the picture up? I don't know. Russ says, cool, thanks for the info. Hey, no problem. You're welcome. Okay, so we got some little, there's like some little panels in here. I don't know if I'm going to try to make those a different color. I think we'll just stick with what they are. Let's go back to the gunmet one here. I'm gonna do this inset part. Sure, the bird screaming in the room. He's gonna want to come out soon. He's getting upset. Let's get a splash of color down inside this inward part here. I better go get him. He's getting upset. Okay, so we've got some. I think I'll end up painting the rest of those panels with this. I like it better. What time we got here? We got 10. Here, we'll do this one. do this front one here to see how it looks. Tried those, and I also was thinking about trying like sort of a browny beige, like maybe a darker, sort of more muddy version of what I got for the base color. Do it with these and see how it looks. Right in there. Get that edge. These little boxes. Yeah, I really like this one. This one works great. Like that. I rather like that. Ken says, I rather like that too. Yes, thank you. I think this color is much nicer than the gray that I used. That was called gray steel. I thought it was going to be more metallic, but it wasn't. It doesn't say anything on the bottle about it being metallic, but I figured because it's called steel, it would look a little more steelish. Sounds like he's finding his way out of the room. Or maybe not. I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second. I just gotta go get him. We've got 5 minutes left. Sorry. Come and say hi. It's enough of that. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for that. with the 5 minutes I have left. Sorry about the bird. He'll settle down in a second. So I'm gonna try to get this last panel done. Come on, bird. You're killing me here, bud. Don't be like that. All right. There we go. Ken says, great job. Catch you later. Yes, Ken, I'll see you over on Andrew's stream. And I'm going to just go ahead and end it so you don't have to listen to that dang bird anymore. But there we go. That's looking not too shabby. Not too shabby. So on part 2, I'll be putting in the orange parts right here. I got some clear parts that are going to go in here. And some more details up on the top bit. So until then, we'll see everybody in the chat over at Canadian Starships. Thank you, Russ. Appreciate that. And then if you guys aren't too busy when Andrew's done, come on back here and watch me try to finish this little guy up. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. And whoever tunes into Andrew, we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye for now.